Hey guys, here's the gear for today. As usual for August here, I'm doing Austere August. So we'll do the Semogue Owners Club Taj handle, bore brush, 75 uses, somewhere around there. So it's kind of still young. Timeless with a knurled handle here, open comb, 68 gap, stainless steel razor. Chiseled Face Midnight Stag is the scent for the cologne and the soap. And that's the soap for today. The Nacet blade is on use number 458 today. Pull him out of the little folder that I have him in. I've got the N up here that's etched and the 1 as well, and then the Sharpie dot right there. And let's go ahead and load him up while my hands are dry. It's a little easier. This head does bend the blade, and sometimes when you're tightening it down, you can kind of hear the blade tick and flex as the threading, I think, on that bolt, kind of does that to it. The soap. Yesterday I did a little trial run that was kind of a face lather. It was a little bit of a hybrid of face and bowl. You did use the bowl as kind of a soap or lather reservoir. And the main point of it was to minimally aerate and agitate the soap. So as I loaded, it was kind of normal but kind of light. But then when I worked it in the bowl, it was just using the tips, not really causing the brush to flex very much in the bowl. And then on my face, painting strokes only as best as I could. And not these swirling, scrubby kind of strokes. So how about right now we try something different. I'm gonna get my face wet, and we will vary that a little bit, kind of do a hybrid between that shave and my usual for this month. Walden's point, who was the inspiration for yesterday's shave, his idea, was that you don't have to, if you agitate it minimally, you can use a good bit of soap and have it be wet and creamy and kind of luxurious and super slick all at the same time. Where my usual method prior to that and with this soap base, there's a difference. I'm going to shake most of the water out of here. My usual stuff, it gets kind of high and bubbly and airy, but then I work it for a little while till it calms down a little bit. Looks pretty good. Doesn't leave a lot of residual slickness. And we'll talk about that more in a little while. So we're going to do a hybrid of those two. Let's do just a 5-second load this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to do my usual type of mixing. Yesterday's mixing, it was more slow, kind of methodical. I had to be more careful. Where this kind of mixing, as you can see, I'm just able to go at it without as much care. And in that sense, it's less effort. I have 40 milliliters. We'll put about, let's start with about 15. That's a good starting point. That's been shown to me by my earlier shaves this month. broken off hair. All this month, it seems like I'm breaking off one hair per shave. And it's not, yeah, I wonder could they have been upside down hairs that have the smaller part pointed into the root ball, and so that's why they break off? Could I be mistreating it in some way? I don't know, I'll have to figure that out. So my plan today is to run this lather a little more dry than I have in the previous shaves this month, and then compare it to yesterday's shave. Is it equivalent? Is being very gentle on the stir, working it with just the tips, and then painting motions, will that give me the same lather as just running it a little drier? If so, then that's a lot less work. And Walden's very happy with his method, I assume, and so and he said it develops a better lather, and so obviously that's better according to his standards, and so there's nothing wrong with that at all. He can just keep rolling with that. One thing that I'll be trying to remember to pay attention to that might be something that helps me notice a difference, and that is the residual slickness on my face after I've done the pass. When I have really gotten a lot of water into it with my own kind of method, not a lot of residual slickness. Yesterday, because I used more product and I didn't agitate it as much, I had more of that soap stuff on my face, and so I could kind of feel maybe the coconut oil or whatever, still be on my face. It took longer to rinse it off. My face did have a little bit more irritation to it than before. And after the shave, it felt a little more dry than the other shaves have been. So if I had to base a conclusion off that, it would seem that his method is less hydrating than my method, because my skin feels better after my method. His may have a kind of an oily slickness to the lather, but my skin feels better after my method. He may have tougher skin than me, and so he's able to do different things. And this looks like a terrific lather here. Looks creamy, all that stuff. Some of these lathers where you have to work them down for a little while because they generate so much body could benefit from longer mixing, where your arm just doesn't feel like doing it anymore. And you may be rewarded by this amazing, slick and creamy experience. Let's just use this. Let's go a little bit wetter. Because I tell you, if I just go straight with this to my face, a lot of it's going to build up around my goatee, and I'll kind of have to manage it. Put some back in the bowl, that sort of thing. Oh, so why not try something different? Let's just not put as much on my brush to begin with, and watch what happens. I can always dip back into the bowl, right? Okay, so yeah, we've got a lot of volume, and his point, and rightly so, was that volume doesn't equal good, depending on the soap. If it's a high structure soap like this, that volume could just be air. It could be just a kind of a poor emulsion that doesn't do you justice in your shave in terms of creaminess and awesomeness like that. Get my face wet one more time. I'm so used to loading up the brush. His method yesterday was messier. As I added water, my shirt was festooned with strings of soap, blobs of lather rather. Brush got to soak for a nice long while before this shave. It's not feeling super soft right now. Kind of feels a little, I mean, it's comfortable. It's not scritchy at all. But it doesn't feel plush. It's not gonna rival any Badger brushes. Like, you know, some guys claim that a properly broken in bore brush that has been split up nicely is softer than many Badgers. I can't wait to, I hope I get to that point someday. Okay, now see, as I work it now with painting strokes, that's kind of looking like the lather I had yesterday, and it was a lot less bothersome to construct. Instead of having to work things on my face, I'd rather just keep them in the bowl myself, because just sitting there and doing circles in a bowl is, you can think while doing that. You can contemplate, man, I'm going to have a ton of lather left over after today. I think as I rinse my hand off, I think maybe I need to add a little bit more water to this lather, because see on my face there, well, no, let's prove a point. We're not trying to get it to my standards. We're trying to keep it a little on the drier side to see if we get the same kind of creaminess that I got yesterday. It's a slower, oily kind of creaminess, where my face kind of felt like almost buttery, where it was maybe slowing down the razor. You know, I've experienced different kinds of slicknesses in shaving. Some of them you are just impressed. It's creamy. And your fingers just zip across your face when you're working it, and you're just feeling it. You can, and your razor as well, easy glide. Some of them that I don't know what they have in them. It almost feels like it's a thicker product, like butters or something like that, where you can feel a slickness, but it's a slow kind of slickness. And sometimes I can feel that in the speed of the razor. Sometimes I think that could cause irritation with me, because it's just some drag there. But if you feel it slowly with your fingers, you think, oh, that's kind of nice, you know? But then it's not nice when it comes to movement. All right, let's try this guy out. It kind of looks, you know, very similar to what I got yesterday. Feeling kind of like it, yeah. It was a pleasant shave. The first pass, at least, was really quite nice. Razor moving pretty well, because the stubble is kind of helping it. But then after the first pass or two, the stubble's gone, and it's just the razor with the skin. Feeling a little bit of slowness now. Maybe this side, because it's my offhand side. Maybe I don't naturally work that side as much. little splash of water now. Goatee definitely had some water in it here, so that could be affecting this pass of lather. But since this is a lather that has a little bit of traveling left to go before he's really well hydrated, I can just bring in a little bit more and neutralize that pretty easily. In terms of the visual creaminess, you know, it looks nice, as you can see. This is an old school formulation, like I've been telling you guys all month, and so it just is not going to be able to compete with like the current Barrister and Man, even Stirling. Mammoth, Summer Break, Declaration Grooming, you know, those guys. Noble Otter, I really like their stuff. I haven't shaved with one of their soaps in a long time. After Austere August, need to rectify that. They've got several that I thoroughly enjoy. Plunder, Lone Star, Texas. Those are just tremendous. Yeah, I don't have quite the buttery feeling on my face. And so it is different than yesterday. This is rinsing easier, and so what I think is I've, by habitually kind of adding water, I have brought this to be a wetter lather, and it is more slick. But if having that kind of butteriness because of extra product, you know, makes him happy, if it gives him that experience he wants, maybe he's a slower shaver than me, maybe he's just different, maybe he has tougher skin, who knows, you know, then that may be exactly what he wants. I'm sure he's tried my method, and he's a long time watcher, and I love interacting with him. And so I'm sure he's tried mine, and he likes his better, and that's cool. He's also not a noob, so you can definitely know that he has been at it long enough to be giving it, whatever method he tries, a good, objective technique, that sort of thing. Razor's moving faster than before. I think this is probably my third pass. And a little splash on the face. Maybe this will be my last pass. Get rid of some of this goatee moisture. See if I can get back to that thicker lather so I can compare the feel on my face afterwards. This one felt like it was easier to put together. The reason I don't face lather is, you know, how you have to work everything on your face. Your face, and you can quote me on this, is a pretty poor bowl. Now, some guys like working the lather up on their face because they like the way the brush feels on their face. They get to feel it a lot. You know, they've maybe purchased some kind of brush with some tips that are artificially softened, and so they like those gel tips. You know, it's been a few years now. I wonder if the gel tipped craze is reducing the two-band brushes with gel tips. Probably not. Yeah, nice quick movement with the razor. I don't feel like the lather is giving any drag. I like that part better. And yeah, it does feel a little faster. I do have some residual, partly because I'm kind of smearing a light coating of, inadvertently a light coating of the lather around on my face. But I don't have any tenderness like I had yesterday. It could be because of a couple of things. The reason I got tenderness, same razor and blade and everything. It could have been that there was a higher concentration of soap contacting my skin, and so there could be some sensitivity issues involved. Not as hydrated, and so it was just like I said, higher concentration. It could also be that the slowness, the thicker type of slickness that I experienced yesterday was slowing down my razor, and that extra drag could be causing a little bit of kind of razor burn, enhancing a feeling of razor burn. So those are two my guesses. All right. Let's do a under chin only pass here. And as I mentioned yesterday, when I tried to kind of follow his guidelines or his little idea, if I did not get good results from it, that doesn't mean it's a bad idea, because maybe I'm doing it poorly. So that may still be the case. But these are just my first impressions that I'm telling you in today's shave. I can get in trouble down here on my neck, and so I do short strokes, and also make sure that your skin is not loose. Don't over tighten. There we go. Nice close shave. The Nacet marches on. We ended up using 22 milliliters of water, adding that to the lather to make it all up. Had about 3 more passes of lather in the bowl here as I'm rinsing it out now. 5 seconds of loading, 22 milliliters of water added. I did like the process a little bit better with working it in the bowl than shaking out the brush here, than doing it on my face, having to do different motions and manage the lather on your face is not as nice as the bowl where it's all contained and you can kind of, things are folding in on each other, that sort of thing. And here's what it looks like after a towel stropping. And then I'm going to get a good rinse on my face now. It was a quicker rinse this time, like I mentioned, with the mid-shave rinses, but the final one was quicker. So there was just less residual product on my face after today's shave. Is that a good or a bad thing? It's just a thing. For me, it's good to have not as much product. For other people, maybe they don't mind it, and that's okay. Let's do the City Slicker aftershave splash here. Yesterday's shave also took longer because of that method, which is funny because, you know, today I worked that bowl for quite a while. Thought maybe I was doing it too long, but we're ahead of the game in terms of comparing it with yesterday's. However, I did talk about it a little bit more because since I was doing something different, I wanted to enlighten you guys. And like I said, if I was doing it poorly, then that's going to take longer. Things speed up as you do them with a more regular basis, of course. City Slicker, I've been enjoying it all month. I mean, the last few days, I was using Midnight Stag before, but I had to switch because I left the Midnight Stag aftershave at a relative's house. The good news is that my dad has it in his house, and so I told him, hey, he should try it. And so who knows? He's a manly man, and so he may really enjoy the different aspects of the scent. So we'll see. We'll see if he tries it out. I'm going to bask in the City Slicker for a little while. The Midnight Stag is strong, and so I'm going to put it on at the end of the shave and just kind of enjoy the City Slicker as I kind of shut everything down here. All right, we're all good, all packed away. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been a good shave. I enjoyed the lather building process a little better, like I mentioned. I did not quite achieve the same thick oiliness that I got with yesterday's shave, but I'm kind of happy with that. But I think I proved to me my point a little bit, and I think you can get a similar lather by just keeping it thick, not adding quite as much water. And by giving it an extra minute, like you saw, right when I start mixing, it does kind of bubble up, and you can't stop after that. You've got to keep working it until it starts to look like kind of a creamy lather. And so I think most people will be happy with that. Now, if you want ultra performance, go with a more modern base or a more modern formula than the chiseled face. However, you're not going to get the awesome scent of Midnight Stag anywhere else. And that's why this guy will be in my den for a long time. When I run out of him, I actually have maybe 2 more tubs of this in the modern look. And so I'm not going to run out anytime soon. But if I do run out, I would, at least when I start the last tub that I have, I'll be looking to buy some more. That's for sure. Even if it's in the old base and he doesn't improve it at all. I think he tried to improve it with the silk tallow as I put on the cologne here, but that was kind of a fail in the sense of trying to replace his existing base. And I'm not saying he wanted to do that, and at least initially he said that he was going to keep his OG base, we'll call it that, but the silk tallow was that creaminess that I really liked, but it just takes a lot of product to get there. It can be frustrating if you don't know that ahead of time. Nice. Oh, Midnight Stag. How I love thee. All right, you guys take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Wishing you all the best and hope this helps you in your shaving journey. Take care. Bye.